It was a lot more fun back then, for sure. Like, especially with this meta now compared to what it was before. You know, no break was in the game back then, so you could play DPS heroes whenever you wanted without getting countered.
I think I played the first season ever, and I placed like around like 60, which I don't know what the equivalent to that is. Maybe like diamond, I guess it would be.
It wasn't 5,000. The first season is like 100, and like when you win like this. When you lost, it was like, ooh, yeah.
Well, pretty much as soon as you get to higher ranks, you start recognizing the player's name, and as soon as you see certain players' name on your team, you can pretty much like count it as a loss. Because you don't have enough avoid slot for certain persons, or like, for me example, like I see 3 main support mains on my team, I'm like, this is GG's. Like, you can't do anything. There's like so many times you just, in the loading screen, the game is already lost.
The experience lately has been really bad. It's been like worse and worse because the rank system isn't that great.
I think the game definitely, the rank system at least, has gotten worse in my opinion, but I think there's still ways to fix it. But yeah, I remember like hard grinding like season 1 to like 4 or 5, because the game was just so fun back then.
I think the ladder meant a lot more back then because it was a lot of like, it was an amateur scene. We didn't have Overwatch League, we didn't have contenders or anything. So like there was a lot of amateur players trying to grind to be professionals and like took ranked a lot more serious because the ladder, if you were on top 10, basically that's how you got scouted by like good teams, like good players. So
no, I mean, I think that people believe that they're stuck in Elo Hell, but like realistically, your teammates aren't always holding you back in every game. So if you're in a rank, like you're probably like meant to be at that rank, at least like if you're not actually getting trolled every game, which I think people think they are, but I don't necessarily agree with that.
I don't believe like Elo Hell as it is like real. Sure, it's like certain ranks can be like really tough to climb out compared to like others, but like at the end of the day, you are where you belong.
I think if you're good enough, you can always improve by yourself and always carry the games to go higher. You're always gonna win. If you're better than the enemy team, you're always gonna win. If you're a better player, even if you have bad teammates, you're always gonna win.
I think like a good player will be able to shine no matter what. I do think that there's a limitation on that. Like maybe you'll lose a lot of games in a row, or maybe you'll win a lot of games in a row. But I think good players will find a way to shine if the game's basically unfair in terms of like SR, where like they should be a lot higher than they are. So like, you know, how average Elo balances out. It's like they have a more stacked team because they're low SR. I think that they should rise eventually.
I do believe in that. Like, I do believe there's an Elo Hell in every single Elo as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's an Elo Hell where like I said, like in a certain time of day, if I'm not playing with other OWO players, I could easily just get like games that's like just strictly DPS, not the meta, and you're not able to carry sometimes, you know what I mean? And you just get stuck and you can't go up.
I would say some of the position might be stuck because some of that, let's say as a main tank, if you go, let's say a main Ryan, I would say Winston is a good main tank and you can carry the game with Winston because Winston has the ability to solo carry. You can get in and get out, you can touch your point, you can do whatever you want and you can survive, but not as Ryan. So basically Ryan or Orisa is this kind of character. No matter how good you are, you need to rely on the team as well. It's not just you. So I would say some of the main character, you might get stuck if you are in a low rank and your team is not supporting you at all. You're gonna having a hard time.
And like the first important lesson is like, you're gonna lose games because of your teammate. That's gonna happen at some point. But every game like really can't be because of that. There has to be like something wrong with you too, and you need to like realize, okay, this is where I did something wrong. How do I improve it? Like the best way probably is like record your own gameplay and look like the small things you could do better. Don't look at your teammates like feeding somewhere in their enemy spawn. Like look at like, how could I help this guy not feed here?
Like the variables are your team. The only thing that stays consistent is you. So you really want to focus on yourself and do as much as you can and get good at what you want to get good at. I think a lot of players trying to fill a lot, and I think that's always going to lead to Elo Hell.
I would say you should stick if you play healer, like just play healer. But obviously that's not the case sometimes. So, but I would say at least like, you know, for the role you really want to play, like learn like two, like if it's like a healer you want to play, learn 2 healers and then learn one of each other role. You know what I mean? Learn like 1 tank, learn 1 DPS. That way, if you do have to flex, you can. But you want to know like your main heroes. You want to be like, you know, in your role.
Yeah, most of the character in the game you can carry the game. Depends on what you do. But if you think about the comps, yeah, This is the most important thing. So if you can call the comps, just say it. You don't have to wait you don't have to wait anyone to answer you. But if you can call it, okay, next fight we're gonna do Nano Blade, or something like they're gonna have the blade. Can we save trend for that? That's it. That's a more simple thing that can change the game. Just like simple sentence.
Yeah, I mean, like Brady said, it was always annoying for us in top 100 and like higher ranks when you were solo queuing or duoing and you verse a 6 stack or a 4 stack, and like it's impossible to beat them because they're communicating really well.
Getting against a 6 stack in GM top 100 is always annoying for me. Playing against like a Korean 6 stack in ranked is not fun. So I could see how people are feeling about like that in lower ranks now that it's like not in the game for top 100s.
The game's always going to be hard with groups involved. I think one problem is like if you limit the queues where you can only play 4 stack versus 4 stack, there's sometimes going to be really long queues because you're divided by SR and by group size. That's such like a niche like queue that it's going to be hard to have like good games.
I think it's kind of stupid, but I do understand that like, you know, sometimes there's not another 4 stack playing it. But I think there should be a priority. I don't know if it is like this, where if like one team is stacking and the other team has stacked players, or if one team is stacking, the other team has like maybe players that are a bit higher in SR. You know what I mean? Like just better individual players, right? So it evens it out, right?
Well, I don't know what the best solution is, but I think the game's going to be a lot harder for the solos versus the group. I think generally that is just how it is. You make sure that you can coordinate with your team, and sometimes people just don't even have microphones or don't want to use them, you know? Yeah. So if you have people just talking, that's a huge advantage, you know? So.
But, you know, I know they recently removed like anything over 2 players for top 500 players, which is like, I think it's awesome. So, you know, I don't think it's like as much of a problem. And I think, you know, if you are in like, you know, a diamond or, you know, even masters, I think it's still okay to be able to like play with your friends and like enjoy the game, because, you know, like, not that it's not a serious like thing, not that you're not taking it serious and it should just be locked to duos, but I think that, you know, it's fun to have, you know, to play with friends and stuff. So
well, that's just unlucky. If you get in the game and you met the 4 stack of Smurf Grandmaster player, that's like, well, that's just unlucky. Like we can't fix it and they can't fix it. But if they are like the same rank, let's say you are in a diamond and you play against the stack up diamond, I don't think it's gonna be that much different.
Sure.
Well, the main thing that's gonna be different if they are the stack up team, they communicate a lot, they make plans. So like I say, if you just say the simple word, like we're gonna transfer blade, we're gonna do a combo together, that's enough. I think that's enough. You don't have to like keep talking all the time. Okay, we're gonna go right, we're gonna do this, you don't have to. Just simple ultimate plan and counter plan. That's it. That's enough to win the game.